Very good evening to everyone. Please prepare yourself to observe 5 precepts. So as usual, before we start, I would like to request every one of you to be silent and quiet, and then repeat Namo Tassa 3 times to observe 5 precepts. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saranāgamaṇaṃ sampunnaṃ, Pānātipātā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi, Adinādānā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi, Kāmesu miccācārā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi, Musāvādā vēramaṇī sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi, Surāmēraya majjapamā daṭṭhānā vēramaṇī sikkhapadaṃ samādhiyāmi, Tisaranena saddhiṃ pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ sādhukaṃ surakkitaṃ kattvā appamādena sampādītabbhaṃ, Samantā cakkavālesu atrā gaccantu devatā, Saddhammaṃ munirājassa sunantu saggha mokkadaṃ, Dhammasavana kālo ayaṃ bhadantā, Dhammasavana kālo ayaṃ bhadantā, Dhammasavana kālo ayaṃ bhadantā. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammā sambuddhassa. Ārogyamicce paramañca lābhaṃ sīlañca uddhānu mataṃ sutaṃca dhammānu vattīca alīnatāca Attasadvara pamukha chaleti. Dear devotees, parents and children, very good evening to everyone. Although I am not really feeling well today because yesterday I took my booster jab, so I feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it is okay. Bearing that inconvenience, I decided to proceed with this Dhamma talk for the benefit of our children especially. And so I try my best to continue talking today for your understanding. So warmly welcome every one of you to our monthly Dhamma talk in English. And today, as usual, we are going to learn very special and beautiful some teachings of the Buddha. So I want you to be ensured to give your full of attention to this talk. I want you to have your full of attention towards my talk, so you will be able to get full of understanding and full of a beautiful message of the Buddha. But if you just try to be attentive to my talk, so you will be able to learn a lot. Okay. As usual, we have been conducting this talk, the series of talk, last few months and years. So today is the other time, another day that we're going to learn and listen to the teachings of the Buddha. So please be attentive and pay your full of attention towards my talk. And today I'm going to teach you very important teachings of the Buddha for our life. Earlier I recited one of the stanzas of the Buddha, and that explains a very significant and important message of the Buddha. So before I proceed to this talk, I'm going to tell you about some important matters and factors of the listeners. So the Buddha has explained, and the Buddha has identified three kinds of listeners, Dhamma listeners. Okay, the Buddha said that there are three types of Dhamma listeners in one of his discourses. Is mentioned in the Anguttara Nikaya, one of the sect category of his teaching. So in that category of section or sections of the teachings of the Buddha, he has explained three types of friends, three types of listeners, Dhamma listeners. So let's get some ideas about those three Dhamma listeners. Okay, listen carefully. Let's see who are they. It goes in this way, Pali stanza. Tayo me bhikkave puggala savijjamano lokasmin katame tayo avakujja panyo puggalo uchchanga panyo puggalo putupanyo puggalo titi. These are the three types of listeners, Dhamma listeners, and I am going to explain to you one by one these three kind of listeners. So you will be one of them after I explain to you, and you will understand what type of person, the listener you are. Okay. So first one, avakujja panyo puggalo. Who is that? Avakujja panyo puggalo. Who is that person? Who is that listener? The Buddha said that there are some type of people who come to listen to the teachings of the Buddha, but they do not really listen to the teachings of the Buddha. They just hear from this ear and let it go from that ear. So sometimes there are some listeners, right, Dhamma listeners, so they just come and their physical body is with me because there is a monk who is giving the talk, so therefore they should be there to listen because sometimes their parents may force them to come and listen, but they actually don't want to listen to the teachings of the Buddha. They just come and just stay here without taking anything in the talk, right? They don't want to intake any teachings of the Buddha. They just want to spend the time and then they want to go. So that is the first type, one type of listeners. Buddha said that one type of listeners like that. Okay. So I hope you are not like that. So I hope you come here and you pay your full of attention towards my talk, and then you will experience the result of the teachings of the Buddha. And the Buddha has given a very good example to understand this type of listener. He said that imagine that the pot, let's say the pot, a water pot, if this pot has been kept upside down, okay? Let's say that this pot has been kept upside down, and then you want to pour water into this cup. What happened to this cup? Will this cup fill with the water? Indeed no. Why? Because it has kept upside down. So like that, if you just want to listen to the teachings of the Buddha without attention, even though I try my best to input the teachings of the Buddha into your life, into your mind, but if you are not listening carefully and attentively, those things may not go to your mind. Understand? So that's why Buddha said that this type of listeners are not really good listeners of the Dhamma. Avakujja panyo puggala. Okay? Their physical bodies are here, but their mind is not with us. Mind may be somewhere else. Okay? So that is not good. That is the first type of listener. The second type of Dhamma listener, uchchanga panyo puggala. This person, this kind of listener, he listens carefully and attentively, and he tries his best to remember, and he tries to put some effort to remember the teachings of the Buddha and the points of the talk that I'm giving you here today. So that type of listener tries some best to remember something. Okay, but you know what? He only try his best to listen attentively and carefully, and try his best to remember only at this moment, while he is listening, or he or she listening at this moment. But once that person leaves the place, leaves the temple, leaves the Dhamma, this hall, that person may completely forget the teachings of the Buddha, the teachings that he been taught today. He will completely forget. Why? Because he just tried to listen the teachings of the Buddha while he is here, while he is listening to the talk, only while he is listening to the talk. But once he or she leaves the place, that person may completely forget what he has been taught, or what is being taught here. Okay, and the Buddha has given a very good example for that kind of person. Like, for example, when you sit here now, and imagine that something is on your lap. Okay, so when you're sitting down and you may have something on your lap, if you are very mindful and careful about the things on your lap. Okay, you are very mindful whenever you want to get up. You are mindful about that object in your lap. But anyhow, when you want to go, while you are listening to the talk, and you just want to stand up and go somewhere else, and you just anyhow stand up without knowing that something is on your lap, and the things may falls down. Understand? Falls down, because your awareness, your mindfulness is not really there. So this kind of person, something like this, if we try to intake or put some teaching into his mind, but he tried his best to remember and listen carefully while he was listening to the talk. But after he leaves the place, he or she leaves the place, completely forget the teachings of the Buddha. And this is not a good listener. That is not recognized by the Buddha as a good listener. And that's the second type of listener. The third one, Buddha said that, Putupanyo Puggalo. There are some people, there are some listeners who really come forward to listen to the teachings of the Buddha, having control their senses, they control their mind, body, and also mouth, right? They completely behave well, and they are very mindful about their present situation. No matter how many sounds may come to distract them, no matter people come and distract them, but they do not move. They straight away stay there and calmly. They really be mindful and be attentive towards the talk, no matter what things happen there. They have full control over their senses. So the Buddha said that this type of person is the best listener. So now, children, you may hear some people around you, you may see some people around you, and you may hear some sounds around you, but do not bother of them. Do not let yourself distract them. Just try to bring your attention to this talk and try to listen to this talk, and do not let yourself to go here and there, your mind, right? If you just let your mind to travel or to go here and there, nothing may come to your mind. Nothing good teachings of the talk may come to you. Understand? So therefore, please control your mind, control your mouth, control your body, and listen carefully. Understand? So the last type of the person is the good one. Okay? The Buddha has given a very good example. Earlier you remember that I told you about the story of the pot. So now the pot imagine now the pot being flipped to the right side up, right? If you put the pot right side up, and then you put water into that pot, eventually the pot may fills itself, right? Fill itself according to the capacity of that pot. So we have to be someone like that listener, right? So if you are like that, this Dhamma talk may help you really, really well if you are a listener of third one. Understand now? So be like the third listener, okay? So having that in my mind, if you want to get a full potential of this Dhamma talk, full advantages of this Dhamma talk, so you have to be like a third listener, okay? Be like a third listener, so you may able to remember well. Let's get into the topic today. Let's get into the talk today, okay? So today I'm going to teach you very important teachings of the Buddha. It is about successful life. It is about how to get success in our life. And it is about how to be a winner of your life. Do you want to win of your life? Do you want to get succeed in your life? Of course we do, right? So everything we do are expecting success in our life. We eat, we sleep, we study, we go here and there, and we do everything expecting success in our life. And I'm here to give you some ingredients and components and requirements for you to become a successful person. Do you want to know them? Do you want to know how to be a successful person in your life? Of course we do. I do myself want. So when we talk about success, you know that many people like to become successful person, right? Like for example, who was the Australian Open champion this time? Who was that? The tennis Australian Open? The Nadal, right? Yeah, look at him. Now he can be considered as one of the most successful tennis players in the world. Why? Because he has succeeded in his career. What is the secret behind that success? A lot of things are there, okay? So I will tell you later. And also, many people, like your father and parents, like your parents, they work very hard, day to day, day and night. Your mother sometimes work very late at night and wake up very early in the morning to go to the work, right? And sometimes they had to do many jobs, not only one. Maybe they had to do 1 or 2 jobs. Why? Because they want to have a successful life. So how do we define our successful life? We define our successful life in terms of how much money we have, how many material things do we have, like, right? So our success more always based on our material wealth, isn't that so? So if you have many cars, if you have big house, and if you have big land, and if you have an expensive car, and if you have a lot of money in your bank account, then you can be considered as a successful person, right? Yeah, the success can be divided into two actually, according to Buddhism. Success can be divided into two. Do you know them? First one is material success, and the second one is spiritual success. So which one is more important to your life? Can anyone tell me? Material success or spiritual success? Which one is more important? Both or one? Which one is more important? Both are very important, right? Both are very important. Material success and also spiritual success are equally important to our life. That's why we work very hard every day. That's why you study. That's why you do your homework in your studies. That's why you go to school every day without being absent. That's why you do researches in order to study. Why? Because you want to get material success in your life. You want to get a good job, you want to go to the university, and you want to build a very big house, and you want to have an expensive car in the future. I know you all work hard because you want to get material success in your life. That is okay. But the Buddha said that the material success may not be with you forever. Sometimes you may experience loss in your life, right? Sometimes your money can be lost, your property can be lost, and your other things can be lost. But your spiritual success may never be lost. It will be always with you. And how our spiritual wealth always based on the qualities, spiritual success always based on qualities, good qualities of our life, right? Yeah, I will explain to you how to get a spiritual happiness, okay? So, if we have these two success in our life, like material success and spiritual success, so that person, that type of life can be considered as a successful life, right? If you have these two areas of success in your life, like material and spiritual, so you can be considered as a successful person, or you can have a very successful life if you are get succeeded in these two areas, okay? Lord Buddha has suggested how to get a successful material wealth and also how to get spiritual success in our life. He has given very good components. He has given very good ingredients. Let's learn them, okay? Get to know them. So during the times of the Buddha, there was a Brahmin named Antusdwara. He's a lay person, and he had a son. During the times of Buddha, this Brahmin Antusdwara, listen carefully, okay? Very good story. So this Antusdwara, he had a son. This son one day came to the father, and he asked questions from the father. He asked very intelligent questions from the father. What did he ask? He asked, "Father, could you please tell me, could you please explain to me how to become success in life? How to get succeed in a life?" He asked from the father. Father knew that these questions going to be impactful questions to his son's life. And he knew that, the father knew that these questions going to be the turning point of his life. So the father did not hesitate to bring the good answer to these questions. So he thought himself, father thought himself, who is the best person? Who is the smartest person to get answered for these questions? He had those questions, father, okay? Because he wanted to help his son. So then he knew that the Lord Buddha is there. The Lord Buddha was there, and he went there together with his son to meet the Buddha. After having gone there, this Antasdwara, the Brahmin, the lay person, asked the Buddha, Lord Buddha, my son wants to know how to become a successful person in life, in the society, in his life. So could you please kindly explain, elaborate the ways of becoming a successful person? So look at that son. He had such a wonderful questions. Do you have sometimes such questions in your life? Do you ask sometimes those questions from your mother and father? What kind of questions do you ask? Huh? What kind of questions do you ask from your mother, father? You may ask sometimes, Father, when I can get a McDonald's, when I can get a KFC. Do you ask such kind of questions? Or when can I go like a trip? Or when can I go to see a movie? So all those are the things that normally our children ask, right? I never say that's wrong. That is good. But yeah, sometimes some children, they have very smart questions they raise to their parents, okay? And then the Buddha, he was very delighted to help and give instructions and ways to this Brahmin and to his son. Then the Lord Buddha uttered one of the very important stanzas in Buddhism, okay? He said in this way, his answer goes in this way. Arogyamiche paramancha labang silancha uddhanu matang sutancha Dhammano vatticha alinatacha attasdwara pamukha janeti. So that was the Buddha's answer. Let's see what are those answers, okay? He said, well, there are 6 types of components. There are 6 types of necessary ingredients we must have in our life. If you wish to be a successful person in your material life and also in your spiritual life, okay? Listen carefully. The first one he said like that. Arogyamiche paramancha labang. Health is the ultimate profit. Health is the ultimate gift we must have. Buddha said that, okay? I will explain in details later. The second one he said, silancha, morality. You have to have morality. The second one. The third one, uddhanu matang. The Buddha said that. Listening to the advice from elders. Okay? Buddha said that if you want to become a successful person, please get advice from your father, mother, and monks, and others. Sutancha, well-educated. You have to be a well-educated person. That's the fourth one. Fifth one, Dhammanuvatticha, righteousness. You have to be very righteousness. You have to have a righteous lifestyle, right? And the sixth one, alinatacha, eliminating laziness and being productive. So you have to get rid of your laziness. Now I can see some of you are sleeping and moving here and there. That is not good. So you are very lazy to listen to the teachings of the Buddha. That is not good. Right? Not every day you get the chance to listen to the teachings of the Buddha. And not every day there are monks to give Dhamma talks in English. So this is only 1 hour in a month. Once a month. So don't go here and there. Don't sleep. Otherwise, you will not be able to get this important message of the Buddha. So tell me, what is the first requirements, ingredients to be successful? What is the first one? Being healthy, having a good health. Being a healthy person is very important. Remember, okay, that's the first one. And the second one, you have to be a virtuous one. Morality, sila. Understand? That's the second one. Don't forget, I will ask you again. And the third one, uddhanumatan. You always had to seek advice from your parents, monks, and your brothers. Understand? That is the third one. The fourth one, sutancha. You have to be well educated. Okay, that's the fourth one. The fifth one, dhammanuvatticha. You have to be a righteous person. You have to lead a rightful, righteous life. And the last one, alinatacha. You have to eliminate, get rid of laziness. So if one has these 6 components or ingredients, definitely that person will successful in his life. Understand? So ingredients are very important. So we carefully select ingredients when you want to make a cake, right? If you want to make a cake or fried rice or fruit salad, you carefully select all the ingredients, right? And you carefully add those ingredients into those things, right? You don't want to add more salt, more sugar, right? Because you worry about the taste, isn't that so? So likewise, we may have some bad ingredients in our life which degenerate the success of our life. So if you use the Buddha's ingredients, definitely we can become a successful person in both materially and spiritually. Understand? Yeah. Let's know more about each other. Let us explore more about these 6 factors, okay? Arogya micce paramancha labha. Why the Buddha asked people to be a healthy people? Why he said that you have to be a healthy person in order to become a successful person? Why? Who can give me an answer? What happens if you have incurable sickness? What happens if you have some severe sickness throughout your life? What happens? Can you be a successful person? What happens if you become like a deformed person and if you have some difficulties in your life, like difficulty of speaking and difficulty of talking? Can you be a successful person? Maybe sometimes can actually. But most of the time, we had to be very healthy. We had to lead healthy lifestyle if you want to become a successful person. When we talk about health, we can define health into 2: mental illness and physical illness. Which one is more serious? Which are more serious? Physical sicknesses or mental sicknesses? Can you tell me? Which one? Mental or physical? Mental, right? Mental sicknesses are more severe than physical sicknesses. Why I say that? Because physical sicknesses can be cured through the medical sciences, through the applying of Western and herbal medicines, right? And you know that, right? So if you have some sickness, so you go to see the doctor, and doctor may prescribe you some medicine. So if you take that medicine, you can say goodbye to your sicknesses, physical sicknesses. And so your sicknesses, most of the time your sicknesses can be overcome by applying all those Western and what is the other type of medicine? Western and? Sorry? I have the word, it doesn't come to my mind. Western and traditional, yeah. Traditional medicine. Western and traditional medicine. Right? So if you go to Sri Lanka, if you get a severe headache, so sometimes the traditional doctors may give you some oil and other herbal medicine to apply, right? So Western and traditional medicine are there for you to recover from your sicknesses. But if you have mental sicknesses cannot be cured or cannot be overcome by applying all those Western or traditional medicine. How can we overcome from our mental sicknesses? What is the medicine? What is the best medicines to overcome mental illnesses? Listening to the teachings of the Buddha and reading the books of the Buddha, and also practice of meditation. So practice of meditation, reading the teachings of the Buddha and listening to the talk may help you to overcome from mental sicknesses. Okay? What are the mental sicknesses? Can anyone tell me? Mental illnesses. Yeah, Putta, can you tell me? One mental sicknesses. Yeah? What is that? So, Putta? One type of mental illness is stress, anger, frustration, jealousy, greed, hatred, ill will. All those are considered as mental illnesses. So if you have hatred, what is the best medicine to overcome your hatred? Practice of loving kindness. Isn't that so? And if you are a greedy person, what is the best method to overcome greedy? Practice of generosity. And if you are an ill-will person, what is the best medicine to overcome from ill will? Loving kindness again. So your mental illnesses only can be cured or overcome by applying all those teachings of the Buddha and the reading books and also practice of meditation. So when your body gets dirty, when your clothes get dirty, how do you clean them? Do you wear them without cleaning? So smelly, disgusting, stinky. Do you wear those clothes without washing? No. You have washing machines at your home, and you use different types of liquids and softeners and fabric conditioners to clean your clothes. And when your body gets dirty, can you go into the washing machine and press the button to clean your body? No, you will die if you do that. There's no such way. Then the Buddha said that if you want to purify your mind, practice meditation and apply teachings of the Buddha into your life. So, what I want to tell is that if you are an unhealthy person in terms of physically and mentally, unsuccessful is inevitable. You can't get your success. You can't have a successful life if you have physically ill and mentally, if you are physically ill or mentally ill person. Understand? So therefore Buddha said that you have to be very healthy person. Health is the greatest wealth actually. So if you are a healthiest person, if you are a healthy person, if you have very good health, definitely you can be a successful person. And your parents do not have to spend a lot of money for buying medicine for your sicknesses if you do not have any sicknesses, right? Like now, Australian government has to pay a lot of money in order to order vaccine and rapid antigens kits. Why? Because we are all sick people due to this hidden coronavirus, right? Likewise, when you get sick, your parent has to worry. When you get sick, your brothers and sisters, they have to worry, right? Therefore, first one, being healthy person is crucially important. That is the very good ingredient that you must have in your life if you want to become a successful person. Second one, silancha. You have to be a virtuous one. How many precepts are there? 5 precepts. What is the purpose of observing precepts? You have to implement these precepts into your life. And what is the purpose of observing and implementing these precepts? Why? The purpose of observing and implementing precepts is to control your bodily actions, verbal actions, and mental actions again. So if there are no precepts, how would you behave? You will tell lies to your parents. You will steal the things from your parents. And you may misuse of your senses to do unethical practices. And you may use alcohols as well, drugs as well. And you may tell lies if you do not have precepts. So the main purpose of implementing, promulgating the precepts is to control the mind, body, and mouth. Right? Likewise, why the government, why Australian government, not only Australian government, why all the governments had to pass the laws? Why? Why? Tell me. Why you had to obey the rules? Because if the government does not pass the laws, the people anyhow act. Right? They may violate rules. So if they want to drive anyhow, they drive. And if they want to travel on the bus, they anyhow drive. If they want to cross the road, anyhow cross the road. Right? That is not the way. So these rules are always there to control your misbehavior. Right? So the rules make you a good behaviorous person. So that's why they had to implement rules to control your behavior. So the Buddha has implemented, he has promulgated precepts to control your senses. What happens if you observe precepts at your home? Everybody behave very well. And there will not be conflict between mother and father, between children, if they practice precepts. And if the society practices precepts, the society will be a peaceful one and harmonious one. There won't be any conflict among each other. What happens if the country observes precepts? Country indeed will be a peaceful one. Right? So what happens if the world practices precepts? The whole entire world become a peaceful and harmonious place to live in. So if people practice precepts in the village, so they do not have to have a police station, right? Because they live in there without fear and worry, because there are no thieves, smugglers, and robbers in that village, because they practice precepts. So the second one, if you want to become a successful person in your life, you have to be a virtuous person. Understand? Without morality, forget about your success. You may see in the computer, on the news, many young children at night, especially teenagers, when their parents sleep at night, the children, they do not sleep. They get into gangs, and they get into groups, and they go outside and steal the things from the house. And they steal cars, money from others. And what happens if they get caught? Their entire success, future life will be ended up with that incident. Right? You may have seen, I have seen many children, young children in Australia, not only Australia, many parts of the world. Why? Because they are not virtuous. They do not practice morality. And sadly, I want to tell you, modern time, many people chant the precepts. They just chant always precepts, but they do not implement them into their life. That is not good. Like parrots, the parrots always like to produce sounds. You don't chant like parrots the precepts, okay? As same as you chant, please implement them into your life. So that is the second one, second ingredient that you need to have, okay? Very nice, right? Very nice, beautiful teachings of the Buddha. You never get these ingredients from your school. You never get. You only get the ingredients how to make a cake and other things from your school. But you never get ingredients how to become a successful person except from the Dhamma, except from the teachings of the Buddha. So you are lucky today. Among your friends, you are lucky because you come to temple to listen to the teachings of the Buddha. Others are unfortunate, unlucky. Why? Because they do not come to temple and they do not listen to the teachings of the Buddha. I am pretty sure that your future life will be a very successful life because you know the ingredients, because you understand the ingredients, okay? And not only that, the practice of precepts help you to get a good birth in the future. And the Buddha said that the people who practice his precepts, people who implement the precept into their life, they will experience 5 results. I quickly tell 5 results. 1, being blessed with an abundance of luxuries. So you get a very luxurious life in your next life. Okay? Practice morality. So you will not be a poor person anymore. And the second result, endless praise from others. So nobody will criticize you. Nobody tell you you are a liar. Nobody will tell you you are a smuggler, robber, if you practice precepts. So your good quality will be praised by others. Understand? And the third result you get, immense self-confidence. So if you have not stole something, and if you have not robbed something from someone, if you have not told lies to anyone, so you can go to any group or any audience, any place you can go. You can go to any audience, right? You don't have to be hesitated to page to them. Understand? So if you just for example, if you make crimes, or if you do crimes, so you always hide yourself. Why? You don't want to come and page to the society because you have done something wrong, right? If you have not done something wrong, you don't have to hide yourself, right? You can go to any place of the society. That is what means by that. And the fourth one, dine in a peaceful and mindful state of mind. So if you have not killed animals, if you have not stole something, or if you have not misused of your senses, and if you have not taken liquor, and if you have not told lies, so you don't have to worry about your dying moment. You may have a very peaceful dying, right? And your mind will be a very mindful state if you have, because you know that, I have not done crime, so I have a peaceful mind in my last moment of my life. Understand? Yeah, that's the importance of precept, right? And the fifth one, being born into Divyaloka, heaven after death. This is not what I say. This is what the Buddha says. If you want to be born in heavenly world, practice precepts, okay? And that's the results of practicing morality. And let's quickly go on to the third ingredient. What is the third one? Uddhanumatang. We always had to get advice from our parents and teachers and brothers and sisters. Why? Why do we have to get advice from them? Why? Because they have more experience than you. They are born before you. You just born a few years ago. You just started your life. How you can advise your parents to do like this and that? You can't do that. Your parents, they have experienced this world more than 50, 30, 60 years now. And they have more experience, many years of experience they have. Understand? They know the consequences of good actions and the bad actions. Understand? Therefore, do not ever think advice of your parents are outdated. They are still up to date. They are still very new to your life, right? Sometimes children, they don't like to get advice from their parents or friends. When the parents advise them, they get mad and frustrated. What they do then? What happens sometimes when they get frustrated, and also there's a good word in there, adamants lead to end their life, right? We have seen sometimes some children go and commit suicide and go and find solution by jumping from the building. Why do they do that? Because they do not understand their parents' always give them good advice. Advice to be a good person. Advice to be successful person. Our parents never advise their children to be bad person. Understand? Therefore, always, my dear children, sons and daughters, please listen to the advice from your parents. If you get advice from your parents, definitely you can get success in your life. You can be a successful person in your life, materially and spiritually. Okay? That is the third one. You know that Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Rahula. Venerable Rahula was one of the very obedient novices during the times of the Buddha. He usually take handful of sand and throw them into the sky. Having thrown them to the sky, he wished, I may get advice according to the single amount of sand I throw to the sky. I may get advice. He wished in that way. So let's say that I have a full of sand in my palm and I throw it to the sky. So there are tiny, tiny pieces of sand there, right? So he wished to have advice according to those single sands. So he wished to get advice from the elders. So he said like this, I want to read that. The number of grains of sand that are falling onto the ground is going to be the amount of advice I am going to get today. See, that's how Rahula wished. So get the Rahula as an example to your life. Get his character as an example to your life. Expect advice from your parents every day. Understand? And that is the third one. And the fourth one, I had to go quickly. Fourth one, well educated. You know that our world is getting sophisticated day by day, and new advanced technologies are there, and sophisticated robots are there, and many people are trying to go to the space and moon and other place. Without education, we can't contribute to those society, right? So we had to be well educated to win, to contribute to the society. And if you want to contribute to yourself, you have to be a well educated person. Sutancha. Without education, you may not get any jobs, even jobs in the society, right? So this is the best time for you to study. Don't waste your time just playing phones, computers, computer games. Don't waste your time. This age may never come again. This golden age may never come to your life again. This is the last chance. Use it productively. Understand? If you just waste your time just playing your computers and your phone to play games, when your parents do well in their studies, you may have to repent, lament, worry, seeing their success, or thinking like that. I have not done the time I had the time to do well. I just spend my time just playing computer game and phone. So now nobody gives me job. I can't go to there. Nobody hires me. So like that. Think carefully, Buddha, children. This is not funny. Your parents are not going to be with you forever. And their money is not going to be with you forever. You have to work hard one day, because living in Australia is extremely expensive. You have to pay mortgage, you have to buy cars, you have to pay bills. So now you find your life is more comfortable because your mother and father are there. But once they are gone, you have to find your ways to become a successful person. Understand? Please make use of your time productively. Okay? Good. And the fifth one, Dhammanuvatticha. You have to lead a righteous life. righteous life. You should make your living righteously. You should not steal. You should not do robbery. Right? You have to earn your income righteously. And Buddha has given 5 types of jobs you should not do in your life if you want to earn. He said that you should not sell liquor, and you should not sell animals for flesh, and he said you should not sell weapons, and you should not sell human beings for slavery. And also you should not sell poison as well. Why? Those businesses create problems to the society. What happened now? We are about to experience Third World War between Russia and Ukraine, right? So some countries, they are very happy to see the war. Why? Especially America, they can sell their weapons to the countries where there is war. Understand? Yeah. So selling weapons may cause problems to the society. Selling poisons may cause the problems to the society. And also selling flesh and animals may create some problems to your existence as well. Therefore, please do not engage in selling these, engage in these 5 types of businesses, okay? So if you earn money through these businesses, even though you get good profit, you may become happy some laziness. Understand? So don't be lazy. Wake up early in the morning. Go to bed early. Try to go to bed before 10. At least 9 o'clock, 9:30. If you go to bed early, you can wake up early. Don't go to bed too late, then you can't wake up. Soon after you wake up in the morning, don't take your phone into your hand. Don't turn the computer on. Just take your books and revise today's lesson. Memorize. These are the secret of your success. Please, my dear children, listen and apply and bring this beautiful teaching into your life. So these are the components and ingredients for our success, okay? There are a lot to say, but no time to say all of them. I think you may have benefited from this talk today. So let's remember again the 6 ingredients, okay? First one, you have to be a very healthy person, and you have to be a virtuous one. Second one, the third one, you have to get advice from your parents, and you have to be well educated, and you have to lead righteous life, and also you have to eliminate the laziness. So if anyone can practice these 6 ingredients, definitely they will experience success in their life. Isn't that so beautiful teaching? Aren't they very beautiful teaching? Very beautiful, very meaningful, very practical. Apply them to your life. I wish you all the best. Teruvan Saranai.